So, I wanted to check in with you. We don't just need to be working on our ILP during these meetings. Sometimes it's really important for me to just check in and see what just-in-time support you need. So today I just wanted to just see, is there anything that you need? You've mentioned you want to work on goal 2.3 as a goal area, and I just wanted to kind of check in and see how that's going and if there's anything you need from me.
Yeah, well, it means we're just starting the year and things have been a little bumpy in certain areas, and I know that can be to be expected as we're learning our routines and procedures and all of that. I feel like my expectations are really clear for students, but I'm really struggling with students following directions. I'm giving them the directions. I feel like I'm very clear about what I expect them to do, and they're still not following through with what we just talked about moments before.
So what I hear you saying is that you're really frustrated with them not following the directions you've just given.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you've tried already to resolve that problem?
Well, I make sure that it appears that all students are paying attention, so they're focused on, me at that time and what I'm trying to say to them. So I'm looking around the room to see that they're not distracted. I repeat the directions, probably 3 times before I actually have them go and do whatever it is I'm asking them to do.
So I heard you say that you have them make sure they're listening to you,
mm-hmm.
and that you repeat the directions several times. So when they're looking at you and you're giving your directions, what does that look like? Are all their eyes looking at you? So tell me more about what that looks like. What is it you expect from them when you're giving directions?
Well, I want all eyes to be up from whatever they're doing. I want there not to be pencils moving, phones are definitely put away, and full attention, meaning like their bodies are facing wherever the learning's happening or wherever the instructions are happening. So that's what the expectation is.
And do they always meet that expectation?
I would say 75% of them are meeting that expectation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is offer you kind of a menu of choices, right?
Okay.
So that you can use what works best for you in your classroom with your students in your teaching style.
Okay.
So one thing that you could possibly do is maybe use some kind of attention getter to really signal to the kids that it is now time to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can increase that number of students that's listening from 75% to 100% every single time. And sometimes it takes practice over a while. You could also do written directions, so that after you give your verbal directions, you can have written directions somewhere in the room. Maybe it's on your Apple TV, maybe it's on the paper that they have in front of them. Or you can do a strategy called Ask 3 Before Me. And so what you do is you tell the students that they need to ask 3 other students before they ask you. If the 3 other students can't help them, then they come to you.
Mm-hmm.
So of this menu of choices, what feels like it might be something you might want to try out?
Like, I really like all of those options, but I also feel like there's a lot going on, so I want to start with just one. I think I'm noticing as you were saying those options that maybe my attention getter is lacking. Maybe, the way I've been pulling them in for whatever instructions I'm giving could be improved. So, I'd like to start with that step, and maybe we can talk about some attention getters you've seen that work really well with, various groups of students. And so after I've got that established, really starting to add those other pieces to it, like the visuals, would be a next step. But I want to start with step 1, is to figure out those attention getters and getting 100% of them bought in.
That sounds like a great next step.
Thanks, Elizabeth.